Hey everyone, welcome back to Eat the Cake Anime. I'm your host, Jay Renee.
And I'm her ever-loving husband and sidekick, Ron.
Oh, hello. How's it going?
I'm here, baby.
Good. How's your month of February been so far?
So far, so good. Loving my wife, loving my life, loving anime.
All right. And we had a special birthday this past week. Yep. Shout out to Nene, the big 1-8. Yay.
Yeah, my baby's an adult now.
All right. So happy birthday to Naomi. All right, everyone. So Eat the Cake Anime. We've been doing fan favorites this entire month. All right. So this week, we're going to talk about Ninja Kamui or Kamui or Kamui. People are pronouncing it so many different ways.
Forgive me if I butcher it, but yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to say Ninja Kamui. So let me tell you all about Ninja Kamui. Everybody loves this, apparently, in certain circles. But for me, it kind of started with a bang and kind of fizzled out. So I'm trying to figure out, how did this end up being a fan favorite?
Well, part of it is because Ninja Kamui started out where it was going to be like a ninja-based action anime type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all in for it. We're all excited and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have to get through the backstory and everything else.
Right.
But then it starts leaning more into like a mecha genre.
Yeah.
Where, it's kind of like Gundam, but almost like Mortal Kombat, where for those who don't know, I'm like kind of an anime video game geek as well as a comic book geek.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Mortal Kombat, you all know how they went from being regular ninjas to these robotic ninjas. And Ninja Kamui just was kind of like all over the place, mixed up.
Yeah, to me it was kind of muddy. Now, it's a fan favorite from what I've been told because it was never... Okay, so the premise of Ninja Kamui, it was never a manga.
Correct.
It was never a manga, it was never a manhwa, it wasn't anything like that. It started out as a whole anime show that was written, produced, and directed by everything on an American scale. It wasn't Japanese.
So it's a anime by proximity.
Yeah, so it started out as like an American anime, if that makes any sense. And it was produced by Warner Brothers Television. Now it came out, it aired from February to May of 2024, and it premiered on Adult Swim on Toonami. And in Canada, of course, it was Adult Swim Canada, and it didn't come to Japan on Tokyo MX until later on last year. So I think what made it a fan favorite initially was that everything was backwards. Usually we have things that are premiering overseas, they get good reception, then the licensing comes to America, then we're privy to it, things of that nature. But in this case, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
So everything was, it's an American action anime, and it tells a story about Joe Logan and his wife.
Hegan,
his real name is Hegan, but his alias was Joe Logan. He and his wife and child, they're in hiding in America after disobeying direct orders from their ninja clan master.
Mm-hmm.
So the ninja clan master, who's Yamaji, so he and, oh God, how can I put this? I'm trying to put this in a way that didn't make it seem so convoluted, because to me it seemed like a simple premise, then it turned really, really muddy.
Mm-hmm.
So Yamaji ordered Hegan, who is Joe Logan, aka Joe Logan, and the other exiled ninjas to be eliminated because they disobeyed direct orders and they did not want the clan secrets to get out.
Correct.
So basically kind of like an age-old tale of, once you're in, you can never get out. Then once you get out, we're going to find you. And, these things happen. So after Hegan's family is eliminated or destroyed, his wife and his son, the classic tale of avenging the family ensues. So the reason why producer Ron is laughing, you guys, is because at Eat the Cake Anime, we like things that are kind of surprising. We like things that we can't sit there and say, oh, this is what's going to happen. Oh, this is going to happen next. That jaded sense of there's nothing good on television or anime, so why even bother? So when we heard about Ninja Kamui, we were like, wow, this is good. And we started with the 3-episode rule. 3-episode rule, I'm telling you, y'all, those first episodes, I was sitting up there like, wow, okay. all right, this is a great formula. Shout out to US, being able to come up with something that was a different spin. And after the third episode,
it started leaning into those same old tropes.
That's where it lost me. But it was just so trite, and it was just boring. I'm sorry, but it started out with a bang, and we've come up against this before. Watching animes or cartoons, movies, different shows that start out really good. It kind of grabs you in the beginning, but then it kind of takes a dip, but then it comes back up to kind of redeem itself. There's usually some filler episodes that we usually see in animes or other shows that we usually kind of, you give grace to because it's probably setting something up for later on. But for Ninja Kamui, for me, it just went down and it just stayed there.
Yeah, for me, those first couple of episodes of Ninja Kamui, they were excellent. They were great. Like all the ninja stuff, all the background of the little bit of story and stuff that it was telling me.
Yeah.
It was like I was all in for it. And then the more episodes that went by, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is Mortal Kombat. No, wait a minute.
Then it's not really Mortal Kombat. It's like a detective story. Then it's not really a detective story. It's a story of revenge. Then it's a story of mechanics. It was a lot thrown into these 13 episodes.
Yeah, and then it became like the ninja of the week. Who are we going to fight this week? And this rich corporation who was able to join or team up with this ninja group, this ninja clan, and he's going to upgrade everybody, mix their skills, and then
the detectives who are investigating the murder of the family, but then someone is like a couple of weeks or a couple months away from retirement, and then he's keeping an eye on his new partner who also just so happens to have a secret of her own. It was everything thrown at it except the kitchen sink, and I think that's where it kind of lost us as fans.
Now, don't get me wrong. In respects to Ninja Kamui, the action scenes, the fighting scenes, those were very good.
Yeah, the animation was really nice.
Yes.
It was really nice. I was very surprised. But like we said, giving it the 3-episode rule, with those 3 episodes, we thought it was, hey, smooth sailing. It's only going to get better. 4th episode kind of took a dip for me. And then as we went along, I was glad when I reached the last episode. I was glad it was over. I am so sorry, you guys, for those who, really, really liked it. And there's nothing wrong with it per se. But to me, it was too much, too soon, and it did not gel into a cohesive story that left me wanting more.
No, you actually said it exactly the way that I was thinking it. It wasn't cohesive. It was just a little too much of this, a little too much of that. It's like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's like everything sprinkled in all at once, as it went on. And it's just like, okay, where's the resolution? Like, okay, like I said, some of the story in the first 3 episodes, you got to listen. It was just like, oh, surprise after another surprise. Like, oh, that's so clever. Oh, that's neat. Oh, that's smart. And then it went down into, oh, this again. Oh, that again. Oh, here we go. So for us at Eat the Cake Anime, I wouldn't necessarily call this a fan favorite.
No.
I would call it something that was kind of new and different last year because it didn't come from a foreign entity brought into the U.S. where we're like privileged to have it. It was more of another U.S. attempt at anime that I don't think really, kind of fit the bill. Kind of like Suicide Squad Isekai. Remember that?
Yes, God.
Yes. So yeah, go back further. Yeah, we did that as a podcast episode early on last year. Suicide Squad Isekai. It wasn't what we particularly liked or looked for when it came to anime. So it just makes me wonder, like, what is that perfect formula for a good anime? Does it have to be foreign? Can it be, can it be domestic? Like, what do you think, Producer Ron, makes for a good anime?
I think they needed a little bit more help on the storyboards. It's almost like they just took the story and just went straight forward with it. Like they didn't have a formula. They didn't have like a header. They didn't have a second, third act. It was just all this like, okay, we know what we want to do, so we're just going to go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And never put any homogeny in it. They never put any
cohesiveness, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't
was literally
cohesive.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it was kind of scattered, kind of all over the place. I can understand why people would like it. I can understand why they would want to see it and be a part of it. I wanted to like it. I really, really did. The more we went on, I wanted to like it so much, but at the end, it just kind of fizzled for me.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those anime. Now, me and my wife, we actually sit down and we watch anime together. And sometimes it's like she'll snatch the remote out of my hand and go to the next episode
snatching the remote
before we can even go to the next part. And this particular one, we were watching together, and we were like literally looking at each other like, "You want to do another one?"
Yeah, because it was just like. So, for all intents and purposes, you guys, yes, we are reviewing Ninja Kamui, but for me, I wouldn't recommend it if it's something that you are into, if you're trying to get into anime, if you want to see, some good action, some good ninja scenes, some good revenge plots, this has some of that, but there are a lot better or a lot more shows, I think, out there that can kind of give you what you want.
I think maybe it's because we're a little bit more mature of an anime watcher. We've been watching it for a number of years. And we're looking for plot. We're looking for story.
Yeah.
And this didn't give us what we were looking for.
Yeah. And good character development.
Correct.
So yeah, while it's a nice show, it's considered a fan favorite, but for us, we'll take a pass on it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there are plenty of others out there that we would recommend, but I don't think Ninja Kamui would be one of them. Now, if you do want to check it out, it is available on Adult Swim Toonami. Like I said, it premiered February of last year, and it was midnight, and it was like, oh my God, it was so good. But yeah, but if you want to watch it, you can catch it on Adult Swim. You can catch it on Adult Swim Canada, Japan MX, or Tokyo MX. It's available. But yeah, we here at Eat the Cake Anime, thank you guys so much for all of your support. Fan favorite, next week we're going to be looking at a fan favorite that I think is deserving in and of itself, but you will find out when you tune in with us next Thursday, because yeah, that one has gotten a lot of greatness that we really want to discuss, and it's kind of like the anti Ninja Kamui, but in a lot of different ways. Producer Ron, stop looking like that. Anyway, so yeah, until next time, you guys, Eat the Cake Anime. You can find us on all listening platforms, wherever you listen to your podcast. We're available on Fanbase. You'll see some advertisements on Fanbase, maybe TikTok, here and there. So we'd like to thank you guys once again for tuning in for Fan Favorites Month. And until next week, it's okay to enjoy anime.